Hey, 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 it is Deanne here. Happy Thursday. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about my background, about my GI issues, my digestive issues over my lifetime, and why I am so passionate about helping women eliminate their digestive pain and symptoms so they can find freedom, joy, and live a wonderful life. So, all right. I never really talk about this. And it's funny, I was just thinking about some of the stories before this live. And it's really funny to look back and think about your health over the years because now I can see what I missed back then and by what I know now. So, I'm going to start with I grew up in Macon, Georgia. I am the youngest of three, and my father was a physician and my mom was a nurse. And the first thing that I remember is I had skin issues. So, eczema was something that we had in the family. And of course, I had it. But then my skin issues changed. And I remember a picture of me, I think I was 4 or 5, sitting on Santa Claus's lap. And I had these huge red, big swollen bumps all over my body. And I looked absolutely miserable. It was so funny. When we went to the doctor, it wasn't chickenpox, it wasn't measles, it wasn't mumps. They thought it was a combination of some kind of a hybrid disease that nobody had ever heard of before. So I, kind of started life thinking, oh, I've got weird things going on. So then I remember after that, I started to get hives. And for those of you who have never had a hive before, it is a swollen, red, itchy bump. Mine always came out on the face. I didn't have acne, I had hives. And so I was always trying to figure out what they were coming from, what foods were causing these allergic reactions. And so throughout many years when I was younger, it was, I thought it was chocolate, I thought it was some kind of nut. I never really figured it out. And then I'll get to when I did figure it out. And I also had constipation. So those were kind of my issues: skin issues, hives, constipation. I was a big eater. I ate pretty much anything and everything. So a little different than I am today. And then fast forward through to after college. I went to college in Colby College in Maine. And then after that, I moved to Boston. And I was living there. I was working as an aerobics instructor. I was doing aerobic competitions, and that is when I had the worst pain of my life. One day I remember just having the worst stomach ache ever and had no idea what it was, and it kept happening. And so I finally went to the doctor. They did every test they could, and they said they had no idea what I had, but it must be irritable bowel syndrome because that is what they diagnose if they can't figure out what it is. And the treatment for that is eat more fiber and take this antispasmodic whenever you get the pain. So I was like, okay, great. I'll figure this out. I'm in health. I'll figure out what I'm eating. And at the time, I was eating healthy for that time. That was the carb loading time. So I think I was probably eating a lot of carbs that I don't even eat now. But I never knew when this pain was going to come. And it was this type of pain that it was so bad that I had to get into the fetal position. So I had to have a place to lie down and get in the fetal position and basically try to relax until it just went away. You couldn't work through it. I would always hope that I could just, go to the bathroom and, that would help and that would make everything go away, but it just didn't work that way for me. And the craziest story, I'll never forget this. I lived with two other girls, and we had some guys who lived above us. And we took a car to the train, took a train into downtown Boston, and we were going to hang out there pretty much all day in a bar, watching the games and just having fun. Got there, we were all starting to have fun, and I think I'd ordered some food, and then I got one of my episodes. And I didn't have any medication with me. I didn't have anything to do. And I'm the type of person that I would never say, okay, we got to go home. Like, I'm going to say, you guys do whatever you do. I'm going to figure this out on my own. And I didn't even think I could get back to the train. I think I was scared to go on the train by myself. So I ended up getting a hotel room and basically lying down in the fetal position for 2 to 3 hours until everybody else was ready to go home, and that was the worst case. So, that happened for probably another year and a half. We're just on, you know, on and off. I was having these horrible, pains, and of course, that completely affected my life. I felt like I needed to stay home as much as possible. I needed to be somewhere where I could lie down. I'm sure that affected, all my decisions on what to eat because I still was confused about if this was coming from a specific food. Now, when I look back, it was definitely about my food, but it was definitely about my stress. And at the time, if you had asked me if I was even stressed out, I would have said no. But I look back and I know I had a lot of stress, kind of that stress that you push down. So it's kind of that subconscious stress because I wasn't dealing with a lot of things. I was pushing them away. Now let's fast forward 10 years. I just graduated from PA school and I moved out to California. And I was doing a lot of running. I was training for triathlons, and I had a group of people that I would train with. And we were in Santa Monica one day, and we were running. I think we were up to 8 miles. We started our run, and like a quarter of a mile into the run, I could feel that I was getting some hives. And this was like no other episode I'd ever had. Like so itchy, I couldn't stand it. And I could tell that my face was so swollen because, all of a sudden my my vision was changing. And I remember looking at one of my friends and she just was horrified. And of course, I didn't want to bother anybody else. We were with a big group. I said, I'm going to stop. I need to stop and just rest. You guys keep going. When you turn around and come back, you can pick me back up. And I mean, it scared me. I remember I took my shirt off, had my sports bra on, put my shirt over my head because I was embarrassed by how swollen I was. So after that, I decided to go to an allergist and I found out, lo and behold, that I was allergic to pork and lamb. And I didn't even know you could be allergic to those two things. But I was really relieved because now I had something that I knew was the cause. And I thought everything was going to be better after that. Of course, it wasn't, but but I stopped eating those things. And it turned out that it was also the fact that I was exercising. So when you have an allergy to a food and then you increase the heat in the body, it really affects the inflammatory process. It makes it much worse. And I know when I looked back that day, I'd had sausage for breakfast. I'd had eggs and sausage, and then I had gone on my run. So that was out. No more pork. I didn't really eat lamb, but no more lamb. But things that kept I still had hives, I still had issues, and again, now I look back and I know I had issues with leaky gut. We just didn't know about those things back then. And then I guess the last story that I could come up with is I went to Mexico with a group from work because we did some work down there, and then after that, I ended up having parasites. Now, I'm not going to even tell you about that story, but not something fun to have. So I've had a lot of digestive issues throughout my life, and I find it absolutely fascinating. And I've learned so much through my own problems. And that is why I'm so passionate about helping other people. So the interesting thing is now we know so much more. Now we know what leaky gut is. We know about the microflora and how important it is to have a diverse and really healthy microflora. We know that stress can be very damaging. We know that really all health starts in the gut. And I look back and when I was born, I was not breastfed. So I know that my problem started way back then. So I probably never had that beautiful, bountiful microflora that a lot of babies who were breastfed had. So I guess the basis of this is just with my experience, I now know how important overall health is for the body and to help prevent digestive issues. It's sleep, it's what you're eating and drinking, it's if you're getting enough exercise or maybe you're getting too much exercise. Are you relaxing? Are you getting enough stress management? Are you getting love and support? Are you exposed to a lot of different toxins? There's so many things that are involved, but what I want women to understand is that we do have control over our health. It's not like your genetics are everything at all. You can make choices in your life, and that will make huge changes in your health. So, I just wanted to give you a little bit of my background so you know why I'm so passionate about what I do. I got my medical degree, and basically I was just diagnosing things and giving out prescriptions, and it wasn't helping, and people were waiting too late to go to the doctor. So what I really love to do is to help people prevent disease. I like to help you before that happens, and of course I will help you after, but why wait? Why wait until these symptoms, these messages, these signals from your body that something is not right? Why wait until they get worse and worse and worse and become an autoimmune disease, become diabetes, become cancer? So I just want all women to know that you should not be having loads and loads of symptoms. And when you do, please reach out to someone like me that can help you understand the root causes of the issues so you can get better. You can get through the pain, get through the symptoms, and you can start finding freedom and joy and feeling vibrant in your life. All righty. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday and a wonderful weekend. And I will drop a link below about how you can reach out to me and have a call with me to see how I can help you. All right. I hope you have a great one. Bye bye.